You guys have managed to do it again. Guys, we're here to present you a story that is a parent's worst nightmare. And this story comes out of Chicago, of course. There was a 15-year-old boy that has been charged with attempted murder in a suspected gang related shooting on Halloween night. So even on holidays, the thugs seem to not give a crap. The fact that more kids are going to be out than ever. So apparently, the old gang code of we don't shoot children and we don't shoot mothers, apparently all of that stuff has been out of the window for a while. Maybe I've just been out of the loop. But nonetheless, they don't care what's going on, who's around, and that I think is a very, very dangerous thing and a dangerous element to have, right? And I think it needs to end, okay? That night, a 7-year-old girl by the name of Giselle Zamago, let me see if I can get her face up on the screen because I'm assuming that her parents probably allowed this photo to be out here. But from what we understand, she's going to survive. So this is going to be a positive story, okay? Beautiful little young girl. There's a positive story, but there's a reason why I have a problem with her face being out as opposed to the criminal's face. Thank you, Alice McGill, who just donated by way of the super chat. Thank you very much. And I want to take a moment to just say I appreciate that so much. Thank you guys for always showing some level of support. I really appreciate that. I have a problem with her picture being out there, but we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But she was struck while she was trick-or-treating on Chicago's west side, and that's according to the police, not according to my words. So for everybody that says I get my facts wrong, well, don't blame me. Blame the popo. Stop blaming me. Now, the 15-year-old boy wore a mask that the character Jason wears in Friday the 13th. And of course, y'all all know about that. If you don't know, just Google search Friday the 13th real quick. Look it up. Even if you haven't seen the movies, don't feel bad because I'm not a big movie buff my damn self, right? But nonetheless, he was taken into custody on Friday and he was charged with 2 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of attempted battery through discharge of a firearm. Now, some of you guys might hear that when in the title I put that a 7-year-old girl was struck by these bullets, right? So some of y'all might be wondering, so why is there 2 counts against this 15-year-old boy? Ah, that's right. The little girl was not his target. What they like to call in the hood is that she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And if y'all are from the hood, or if y'all have ever seen any of those hood movies, y'all know they say stuff like that. I believe in like South Central, maybe what was that other movie? Oh Lord, I can't remember the name of that. Boys in the Hood. You know what I'm saying? Wrong place, wrong time. They put all of the blame on everybody else except themselves. His target was a rival gang member based on what we understand. Y'all know it's a huge gang element out there in Chicago. He was going after what they call, what do they call that? They call that an op. An op, an opponent or an opposing or an opposition. I don't know. I don't really care, but they call them the ops, right? But here's the update portion of it. That 15-year-old boy is facing 2 felony counts of attempted first-degree murder and 2 felony counts of aggravated battery / discharge of a firearm. We're going to talk about so much stuff tonight. I'm going to really, really piss y'all off with some of the stuff that I got to say tonight. So y'all bear with me or just leave the channel if you can't handle it. But this teen faced a judge in juvenile court, not in adult court. That's already my first problem. He faced a juvenile court Saturday, just one day after his arrest in the 3300 block of West Ogden Avenue. Police said this is his first arrest. Now, y'all might hear that and y'all might think, okay, this is his first arrest. Yes, we acknowledge that. But how many of you people out there that are watching right now believe that this is this boy's first offense? Personally, I can almost guarantee you that he's probably shot and killed dozens, if not hundreds. Knowing how many shootings go on in Chicago, oh, I'm sure he's responsible for a whole lot of this, right? It's not the old heads doing all of these murders. It's usually the younger ones, the teenagers. Yes? Because the older ones know that they'll get a lot more time than these younger ones do. These are the type that they put out there on the front lines, knowing that they can go to juvenile court and potentially this record that they have now might not follow them into their adulthood. And that's one thing that I think really, really needs to change. We're going to talk about that, okay? Now, the little girl, and this is the part that broke my heart. This little girl was dressed in a bumblebee costume, but she was critically injured and taken to Stroger Hospital. The girl is still in critical condition as of yesterday, but doctors remain optimistic, and Chicago police spokesman Anthony Guglielmi said that she was an unintended victim. The girl's family said in a statement that they're grateful for the outpouring of love and support shown by all of Chicago and the nation. A group of men was chasing down another man on Halloween night when someone in the group fired. A 31-year-old man was shot by this 15-year-old dude, but a 31-year-old man was shot in the left hand during this incident, police said, and maybe he wasn't the intended target, I don't know. But he was taken to the nearby hospital and he's in good condition. So Guglielmi said police Friday believed that the man was the intended target of the shooting, which he also said was gang related. Okay, so maybe he was the target. The shooting yesterday was reprehensible, Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson said at a press conference on Friday. I came here to brief you on the progress being made to reduce the violence in the city of Chicago, but none of that matters if the parents that live in these certain communities can't even take their children out on Halloween. There is no place for this savagery in our city. Now, notice that this stream is acting a little bit funny, and I apologize. I don't think that I have anything else connected to the internet. So just refresh and come back. I know you guys might have to do that from time to time, okay? So if y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear me so I can go ahead and proceed with this story, because I want to make sure that all of you guys get a chance to hear this, okay? So either hit that thumbs up or type a thumbs up in the chat. Say, I can hear you. Can you not hear me? Let me make sure I can hear myself. Real quick, let me take a pause for the cause because I can do that. Make sure that you guys can hear me. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear me. So I can hear myself. All right, I can hear myself. I can hear myself. So if I can hear myself from my cell phone, I'm listening through a separate connection. So it's not connected to my internet. So this one's connected to my carrier internet. So it's totally different. Let me think real quick. If you're in the chat, let me make sure I can read your name out real quick. Okay, everybody else can hear? I stopped going out years ago. I feel you, Hubba. I really do. So Dominic, if you're listening, I want to say thank you. First time donator by way of PayPal. So Dominic, if you're listening, I think that's how you say your name. So I want to thank you very much for your donation. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. President Donald Trump, who made his first presidential visit to Chicago on Monday, blasted Johnson on Twitter in response to the shooting. Shout out to the president. Yes, I love it. I love it. Chicago will never stop its crime wave with the current superintendent of police. Woo! Woo! Donald Trump giving him the business. It just won't happen, he wrote. I like that. I like that kind of fire right there. Now, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot responded to Trump's criticism on Twitter, writing, Superintendent Eddie Johnson, and I see it's dropping, guys. It's okay. Just let it be what it is. I'll upload it on the replay. I don't know why it's doing that because I don't have anything else open. But nonetheless, let's finish up. She wrote that Superintendent Eddie Johnson is a lifelong Chicagoan who has dedicated his career to public service. You only serve yourself. The crime wave you should be concerned about is the one that you are perpetuating against the American people from the White House. That's how you respond to a 7-year-old kid getting shot? Really? I got to take a drink for that one. That's how you respond to a 7-year-old being shot. You need to worry about the White House. No, actually, I think foreign relations, I think that Korea, I think that Russia, I think that all of that other fucking bullshit that's going on outside of the United States can wait for a moment. What do y'all think about that? Me personally, I think this is the exact perfect moment for the president to come out and speak. When we have people dying in our countries, when we have homeless people not having a home and not being able to eat in our country, right? When we have people that are devastated in this country right here, I believe that all of our efforts should be right here at home. That's freaking retarded. If you're talking about we should be worried about the things that are going on abroad. No, woman. So who was this? Mayor Lori Lightfoot? She's just as bad as Rahm Emanuel. I do remember his name. Rahm Emanuel was the previous mayor, and he sucked ass. And now, here we go, right out the gate, Mayor Lori Lightfoot is already sucking ass. Yes, I said it. His focus absolutely should be right here at home. Let's move on. Chicago saw its fewest number of shootings and homicides in October this year, 2015, police said. But for the past 2 years, shootings and homicides have been declining in Chicago, and 2019 is on track to continue that trend. But you have to remember that Chicago leads the nation in murders, leads the nation in shootings and murders. There shouldn't be 100. It shouldn't be 1,000. It shouldn't be 2,000. It should be 0. Nobody should be killing anybody. Nobody should be trying to end anybody's life. Especially if y'all believe in the mantra, all lives matter. Especially black lives, right? Because most of these people out getting shot in the streets are black people. This little girl was an unintended target. She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, according to a lot of the colloquialisms that we use. Let's move on. Johnson said community efforts are contributing to that decline. Only one of the leading causes of its crime reduction, because we have community groups around the city, the ones most plagued by violence, coming forward to partner with the police, he said. We've had a really great deal of tips come in for this particular incident because she ain't black. The Latin community or those Mexican people, whatever ethnicity she is or whatever nationality she is, they cared. They came forward with information and they told in order to make sure and get that little girl justice. So shout out to her family and her community. Shout out to her race and her ethnicity who don't give a shit about this no snitching thing, right? That seems to be a problem with just us. So yes, absolutely. They stepped up and they said something and provided a great deal of tips. Let's move on. Johnson said that the progress was not yet cause for celebration because they still got a lot of work to do. And a relative of the girl said that she's done with a relative of the girl said that the little girl is done with surgeries and recovering in the hospital, and she'll likely remain in the hospital for a couple more days, her family said. Now, they've set up a GoFundMe. If you guys want to take a look at the GoFundMe, let's go ahead and get it up on the screen. So once again, I can show you. One of the dumbest things that you could possibly do in a high crime area is not have insurance for your kids. This is the GoFundMe, and as you guys can see, within 24 hours, ain't that a bitch? 24 hours, Everybody was like, let's help her reach her goal. Not only have they reached that goal, but they've exceeded that goal. They put up a news clip right here, as you guys can see. They put in a little bit of information here. Personally, you guys know I always prefer more information, but they put up an English translation, and they put up a Spanish translation for those of you who speak Espanol. Muchas gracias. They reached the goal in less than 24 hours. Shout out to them. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Don't mistake what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that we need to have insurance for our kids. If y'all know y'all live in crime-ridden neighborhoods. That's all I'm saying. If you're not going to leave Chicago and you know Chicago violent than a motherfucker, be responsible and at least get some fucking insurance. That's all I'm saying. Okay? It did not faze people, said Laura Gutierrez Ramos, the owner of Nuevo Leon restaurant, a staple of the Strip for more than 40 years. 40 years. Our community is very immune to this situation. That's why I put that bit of information in there based on what she said. She said our community is immune. That means that they don't even care. This is so normal for them. The girl is apparently the latest victim of a gang war that has been waged in the neighborhood since the 1960s. Now, let me ask you guys, do y'all want me to go ahead and go to the videos, or do y'all want me to go ahead and tell you a little bit about this history and who was actually involved? Best Mexican food in the city, says Relationship Rehab. Well, my brother, I trust you. I love good Mexican food, and maybe if I'm able to get me a bulletproof vest in time and take my black ass down there to Chicago and maybe get me like a bulletproof helmet and a bulletproof car and some other body armor maybe for like my legs and shit, yeah, I'll come down there, man, and come get some of that Mexican food down there. Cause that shit sounds like a dangerous ass meal. I'm just saying, my brother, I love you. Matter of fact, if you guys have not checked out his channel, make sure you guys check out the Relationship Rehab channel. He does awesome breakdowns about the police and all kinds of things, but I promise you guys will not regret it if you subscribe to his channel. Also, you make sure you guys subscribe to my brother Tommy Sotomayor as well, and make sure you guys check out afatherlessamerica.com, afatherlessamerica.com. Now, why do I keep talking about A Fatherless America? The people that are perpetuating all of this violence don't have fathers. Hashtag not all. Let me repeat myself. These little fuckers that are going around doing all of this shooting ain't got no daddies. They have no type of representation, no type of leadership for what they should grow up into being, which is responsible, productive citizens of the United States of America. They don't have a representative for that. You know what they have? They got a bunch of thug niggas out there on the corner, out there dealing drugs, out there making you feel like you a family, and that's how these gangs recruit. Don't ask me how I know that. This is an element that I'm very familiar with, all right? Police believe they know that the gunman is a member of the Gangster 26 gang. I'm going to say it again. The Gangster 26 gang or 26 gang. I'm not sure. I don't mean no disrespect to their gang. I don't know if that's what you call it or not. I don't know. They were targeting a member of the Latin Kings. I have heard of Latin King before, but like I say, that some of those cliques and sets and gangs, I don't know much about. All right. But he was shot, and but when he shot the girl 2 times as she walked down the street with her father Thursday evening in the 3700 block of West 26th Street, close to the border dividing rival street gangs. Now, it makes me wonder something. Just thinking about that makes me wonder if this Latin King was the father of that little girl. What y'all think about that? Matter of fact, let me put something out there because I'm curious about who the identity is of this 15-year-old. So if anybody is close to the story, if y'all are familiar with this situation, let me know. I'm curious to know what his name is, what his face looks like, because I think that he's a menace to society as long as they're not going to put him in jail for life for murder for this. I think that people should absolutely know who he is and what he looked like. I don't give a shit that he's a juvenile, right? I don't give a shit if he was from Cash Money, the fact that he's a juvenile. But I'm going to ask you guys a question. Why are they hiding this 15-year-old's identity? He's a mass shooter. He's a killer. He's a thug. He's a gang member. Should his age matter to me? No. I'm just curious. Y'all get upset about people like Dylan Roof, right? Y'all remember Dylan Roof, the little white boy that came in there and shot up the church and all that? Y'all remember that, right? What if Dylan Roof was 15 years old, but he was still racist and walked inside of that church and still shot everybody in the church? Would y'all give a damn about the fact that he's so-called underage? Would you still want to know his identity? Would you still like to be able to see his face and know what that little racist cocksucker looks like? Me personally, I would. And I would like to know what this dude looks like. That way, you recognize his face, even if he does get off of this just because he's a minor. But I'm just saying, last time I checked, I don't think you should hide the face of a mass murderer. To me, a nuisance is a nuisance, period. Why should we wait an extra 2 years until he turns 17 or 18, until he's legally grown? Why should we allow this bastard to grow up for the next 2 years and continue to keep killing people in Chicago? Can y'all answer that for me? Or y'all gonna get mad? You gonna get mad? You're in your feels? You're in your feels right now? That I just said that? Because I noticed that there were some people on Facebook actually trying to defend him because he's 15 years old. Can y'all believe that? Yep. There were some people that actually tried to defend this 15-year-old saying he's just a child. And yes, it was a woman. Yep. In Chicago, they are now again calling for stricter gun laws against the law-abiding citizens. Because last time I checked, the laws only matter if you're going to follow the laws. Is my brother Relationship Rehab still here? Maybe he can tell y'all if I'm telling the truth about that or not. The laws only matter to the law-abiding citizens. Tell that to the thugs, because the last time I checked, they don't seem to care about what the damn laws are. Another reason I want his name out there is because I don't want another innocent white man. I don't want another innocent white man out there that gets blamed for shooting this little girl. Because y'all know they do that a whole lot when our people perpetuate a lot of this violence. And they turn around and they give out a sketch of some phantom white man just so a little nigga don't get in trouble for it. Or they'll blame this all on Trump. This is Trump's fault, right? Little terrorists are only going to grow up to be bigger terrorists. Now, y'all tell me if I'm telling the truth about that or not. If he is a 15-year-old terrorist, he's going to be a terrorist at 16, at 17, at 18. And by the time he turns 19 and 20 years old, he's going to be proficient. He's going to be very proficient at killing and getting away with it. Mark my words. I want y'all to hear part of this story because I want y'all to hear how he was able to actually erase some of the evidence of him shooting that gun and erase the evidence off of his hands. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with this or not. What do y'all think he did in order to quickly erase the evidence of him having gun and gunpowder on his hands? What do y'all think he did? Anybody take a guess? I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched First 48 or if any of you guys have ever watched true crime stories or anything like that. Tell me what y'all think he did in order to quickly, on the fly, erase the evidence. With what substance? Janet got it. Janet got it. I'm curious as to know Why did they put the image out of that little girl, the little 7-year-old girl, but she's alive currently? But they won't give you the information of the thug who is currently committing mass murder, and he is an active shooter. I'm just curious. I'm just asking questions. Let's give the fair use. Let's watch the videos. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
We begin with the first court appearance for a 15-year-old charged with shooting a little girl trick-or-treating in Chicago on Halloween. NBC5's Lexi Suter is live at Stroger Hospital with an update on the victim and news about the suspect. Lexi?
If y'all guessed that he pissed on his hands, he used the urine from he peed on his hands, wiped his hands all over it to erase the evidence of the gun. Fucking disgusting. That sounds like a really, really trained, really, really proficient killer. He knew what he was doing, and he's done it before. Let's move on. Let's watch these videos.
Dick, prosecutors said in court today they believe that teenager intended to shoot at a rival gang member. Instead, he hit two people that were walking on the street. One of them, a 7-year-old named Giselle, who remains at the hospital tonight. The 15-year-old walked into a Cook County juvenile courtroom today to face a judge for the first time since allegedly pulling the trigger on Halloween night. He's accused of being a part of a gang with the motive of shooting at a rival gang member. Prosecutors say he hit 7-year-old Giselle Zamago in the chest and a 31-year-old man in the hand.
No lo dejen salir porque
that they don't let him out because these people should not be loose on the streets. So many kids were excited to ask for candy. It's not fair.
She said he should not be loose on the streets, and I 100% agree with her. Listen again.
31-year-old man in the hand.
no lo dejen salir porque
that they don't let him out because these people should not be loose on the streets. So many kids were excited to ask for candy. It's not fair, but thank God people have prayed for my girl. She's good now, and we hope that nothing like this happens again.
Giselle was walking down 26th Street with her family, excited to be trick-or-treating. It was around 5:30 when shots rang out. Giselle's father scooped her up and they waited for help inside this cell phone store. Meantime, a street full of terrified kids and families scattered.
estamos muy contentas ahorita porque
We're very happy now because we got through a nightmare. That I don't know how. But thank you to the commander and Father Mateo. They helped us a lot.
The teen is facing 8 felony counts, including 2 for attempted murder. Prosecutors said in court the teen hid the gun in a nearby alley, and after he fired, he dropped the gun and peed on his hands to get the smell off. Police say security.
Y'all heard that. I'm going to rewind it. That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. While you guys are watching, please click the thumbs up so that way I don't have to pause the video very much. But if you guys would, please click that thumbs up. Share the stream. Let everybody participate tonight. This Sunday night. Let's get it in.
In a nearby alley, and after he fired, he dropped the gun and peed on his hands to get the smell off. Police say security video and tips from the community helped to get the primary suspect in custody. Giselle's family focused on justice and seeing the 7-year-old get better.
I was scared, but then they told me that she was doing fine and all that. Then I felt much better. We're so thankful about everybody that's been praying.
We will see that teenager back in a courtroom on November the 4th. Meantime, Giselle's family tells me she'll likely be in the hospital again for at least a week or two, but they do expect her to be okay. We're live outside Stroger Hospital tonight. Lexi Suter, NBC.
The child is over at Stroger. She's in critical condition.
An emotional moment from Chicago police trying to make sense of what happened on this busy, well-lit stretch of 26th Street tonight.
Listen, this is unacceptable. It's a 7-year-old girl that's trick-or-treating with her family out here and happens to get shot because a group of guys want to shoot at another male while there's a street full of kids trick-or-treating.
A unique scene as detectives did their work, families veering from the police tape, still trick-or-treating. It's a tradition for businesses here to hand out candy to children. Witnesses too afraid to speak on camera said they heard several gunshots and saw at least one person running away wearing a mask. Detectives talking to business employees. In one store where a witness tells Eyewitness News the girl's family went for help until first responders arrived.
All right, let me go ahead and move on. I hope y'all can hear that video. Here's the next one. Is it gonna play?
Through the haze of blue police lights, trick-or-treaters and their families filled the sidewalks of Little Village near 26th and Lawndale.
Y'all hear those gunshots, right? In the middle of the day. Isn't that something? Let y'all listen to that again.
Near 26th and Lawndale. It's the same intersection where 7 gunshots went off. You hear them in this video circulating on social media. The shooting sends trick-or-treaters running. Blocks away, a Ring doorbell also picking up those shots.
I'm surprised because it's just a little girl. It's very dangerous, this neighborhood.
2 of those bullets hit a 7-year-old girl out collecting candy with her family, shot in the neck and chest. Taken to Stroger Hospital where police were seen going in and out. The intended target, police say, a 31-year-old. He was hit in the hand.
It's a 7-year-old child out here with her family, trick-or-treating, just like anybody else. This shouldn't happen anywhere. It shouldn't happen in this city. That's why we're asking for anyone's help.
Police say a group of at least 3 people were chasing after the 31-year-old and started shooting. The 7-year-old just standing on the sidewalk.
Listen, this is unacceptable.
In the middle of the day, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I get the hell out of Chicago, man. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. I get the hell up out of there.
Good morning. The girl wearing a bumblebee costume arrived here at Stroger in critical condition. A man who was also shot is in good condition. Police believe he was the target. They also believe that there may have been 3 offenders.
You're kidding.
The shooting happened at about 5:30 in Little Village. The 7-year-old was with her family in a crowd of trick-or-treaters on the 3700 block of West 26th Street. Police say the shooter, who may have been with 2 other people, fired multiple times. The girl was hit in the chest. A man near her was hit in his left hand. Again, police say that man was the target. He went to Mount Sinai Hospital for treatment. An employee of a cell phone store tells the Tribune the girl's father was screaming, "My little girl's been shot," as he carried her into the store. The employee pressed her hand to the child's chest to try to stop the bleeding. Detectives interviewed witnesses and started looking at surveillance video for images of the gunman.
Call area central detectives, text to tip. You can remain anonymous, CPD tip.com. But listen, this is unacceptable.
Yes, they're busting in the daytime. Absolutely, man. It's absolutely just, not that they should be busting at all. I mean, to be honest, but it's just still kind of odd, nonetheless. Well, see, this is the thing, West Coast Honeys. You're talking about a retaliation. It seems that every time they interview these type of people out there in the streets and ask them why they're out doing what they're doing, they say that everything that they do is because of a retaliation for this, a retaliation for that, a retaliation for it's an ongoing, never-ending cycle. It's perpetual. Until people just make more of the effort to just continue stop doing this stuff.
I have no idea.
Oh, it's crazy. While you guys are watching, if y'all would, again, as a reminder, please click that thumbs up. And if my moderators would, let me know how many thumbs up that we currently have. Just tell me what that number is right now, if you would.
You see it? It's one part of the window.
They're showing the crime scene right now. And that's the area, so if any of y'all are familiar with that area, then y'all might know where that's at.
That's it.
Can we at least get as many thumbs up as we have people watching? Because like I said, we're a smaller channel, so if you guys would, please click that thumbs up for me. It helps me. I know some people might not need it, some of the bigger YouTubers, but your boy needs it over here. So if y'all would, again, please don't make me beg, because I will.
I'm Sergeant Rocco Eliotto, spelled R-O-C-C-O-A-L-I-O-T-O. Earlier this evening, a 7-year-old girl was trick-or-treating on the 3700 block here on West 26th Street. Approximately about 5:30 p.m. when a group of offenders were chasing another male, began firing, shooting at him, and shot her in the neck and in the chest area. The male they were chasing happened to get struck in the hand. He's over at Mount Sinai in stable condition, but the child is over at Stroger. She's in critical condition. Anybody that's got any information about this, detectives are canvassing the area, obviously, but anybody that's got any information, we're asking for any help from the community. Call area central detectives.
Yes, West Coast honeys, if you go there, I would suggest you guard your kids, because the day that you decide to go there might just be the day that niggas decide to act up. You just don't know, and you can never be too careful. Just saying.
Text to tick. You can remain anonymous. CPD.
The little girl is still in critical condition, just to let you guys know. They're expecting her to recover. But y'all know that's uncertain. It's a 7-year-old baby. That's a hard impact to her body. You just don't know, but we're hoping for the best. As of right now, she's alive. So I hope that that remains to be the case.
Tip.com. Listen, this is unacceptable. It's a 7-year-old girl that's trick-or-treating with her family out here, and happens to get shot because a group of guys want to shoot at another male while there's a street full of kids trick-or-treating.
Sergeant, obviously, I mean, you just touched on it, but in the time that we've been out here, this has been busy with trick-or-treaters, kids trying to enjoy the night with their families. Just can you again kind of just touch on sort of your outrage, your disgust?
Listen, it's a 7-year-old child out here with her family trick-or-treating, just like anybody else. This shouldn't happen anywhere. It shouldn't happen in this city. That's why we're asking for anyone's help. Anybody that knows anything about this, contact us, or even better yet, get him to turn himself in.
Can you address the shooter having on a Halloween mask of some sort?
Detectives are canvassing the area. They're doing the investigation right now. I don't have any further description on the offenders. However, that's what we're working on, and when we get it, we'll try. We will release what we have when we can get it.
Rocco, some of the eyewitnesses are saying that the offender may be wearing a mask of some kind.
Yeah, I don't have that right now, Captain. Do we have any? No. The detectives are canvassing right now. It's still very early on in the investigation. They're going talking to any witnesses that were here. They're trying to retrieve any type of video evidence that's here. On top of that, anybody that might have been in the area that has left the area, we're asking them to please contact us so that the detectives can talk to them also.
The reason I'm showing this part is because they suspected it was more people involved in the shooting rather than just the 15-year-old.
Yes. At this point, from this.
Thank you, Miss Lady T-Sinades, for sharing the stream. I appreciate all of you guys that do that. Thank you, guys.
Scene fled on foot.
And also, while you guys are listening, we still need 2 more channel members to think about subscribing to our channel membership, because if we're able to do that, then we'll be able to unlock some more of the features. So again, if you guys are listening, consider joining the channel memberships.
The gun in that alley back there, is that correct?
Again, I don't have any information on the weapon.
What can you tell us about her? Who is she with? How are they doing? Was she with her family?
The 7-year-old was out here trick-or-treating. She was with her family. She's over at Stroger Hospital right now in critical condition, fighting for her life. It's
2 offenders.
2 more questions.
To know how many offenders you're looking for?
so. At this point, at this preliminary information, we have that there was a group of at least 3. So a group of 3. Someone from that group began firing at this 31-year-old male that was on the street, was not with the child, was not with the child's group, began firing at him, and She gets struck.
Do you know if this odd humor right here caught anything?
We're going to have to review all of that. We're reviewing any video evidence that's available.
Go ahead and move on to the next one.
CBS 2 News starts right now with breaking news.
Breaking right now, a shootout while children are trick-or-treating. A 7-year-old dressed in her costume shot in the neck.
Yeah, Charlie DeMar is live in Little Village tonight. Charlie, the block was full of kids looking for candy.
Brad and Erica, good evening. Yeah, trick-or-treaters were going in and out of businesses here on 26th Street, including that young girl, that 7-year-old girl who police say was just standing.
We're going to have to cancel Halloween because of niggas. Ain't that a damn shame? God, we just, as a group of us, it ain't all of us because, you know, we have to preface it by saying not all. We ruin everything as a group. That's a damn shame.
Here with her family. Now, police, they want to stress that that 7-year-old girl has no connection, no relationship to a 31-year-old man who was also shot here and believed to be the target of the shooting. Through the haze of blue police lights, trick-or-treaters and their families filled the sidewalks of Little Village near 26th and Lawndale. It's the same intersection where 7 gunshots went off. You hear them in this video circulating on social media. The shooting sends trick-or-treaters running. Blocks away, a Ring doorbell also picking up those shots.
I'm surprised because it's just a little girl. It's very dangerous, this neighborhood.
2 of those bullets hit a 7-year-old girl out collecting candy with her family, shot in the neck and chest. Taken to Stroger Hospital where police...
Yes, I agree with Rachel. There are no fathers involved. That's why there's such a propensity for violence in this area. I've told you guys, if the boys don't have an example of what they should grow into being with that biological father there, they're not going to know what they should grow up into being. Therefore, they do not value themselves. If they do not value themselves, they're going to go out into society and they will not value other people's lives, especially if they see a low value in themselves. Hopefully, I didn't speak too fast for you. Let's move on.
Police were seen going in and out. The intended target, police say, a 31-year-old. He was hit in the hand.
It's a 7-year-old child out here with her family, trick-or-treating, just like anybody else. This shouldn't happen anywhere. It shouldn't happen in the city. That's why we're asking for anyone's help.
Police say a group of at least 3 people were chasing after the 31-year-old and started shooting. The 7-year-old just standing on the sidewalk.
Listen, this is unacceptable.
Now that group involved in the shooting, they ran off, so no arrest. As for that 7-year-old...
Right. Joe and Micah, that suspect, just 15 years old. This is his first arrest, and just in the last 10 minutes, police have been able to confirm charges, 2 counts each of aggravated battery with a firearm and first-degree attempted murder. As the girl's family asks for privacy, other families gather tonight in a quiet show of support.
This is what I wanted to show you guys. Where's that sign at? Not stop the violence.
The girl's family asks for privacy. Other families.
That one. God, man, it's so funny how our politicians will give us these ideas and these thoughts, and we literally go out and preach their ideas and their thoughts, and we have no understanding about these things. Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws in the entire nation. How many of you guys know that? How many times has Relationship Rehab talked about that? Me talked about that. Tommy Sotomayor talked about that. Until we're blue in the face. Strictest gun laws in the goddamn country. And what do you want to do? Make them stricter for law-abiding citizens. How does that even make any sense? He was 15? Yes, he was 15. Stricter gun laws. Yes, that's the fucking solution. Not stricter parenting. Not stricter households. Right? Not having fathers in the home. Apparently, nobody is not going to even try to take the alternative route, knowing that a lot of these kids and a lot of this violence comes from single family households or fatherless households or single mother households, however you want to look at it. That's where most of this is coming from. But the one solution that nobody refuses to put out there except for us is all of this comes from fatherless homes. Maybe not you. Maybe not you over there. Maybe not you over there. I know it ain't all y'all. Y'all ain't got to email me talking about, my family, my mama was strong. My mama had 6 kids and she did it all by herself. She worked and put clothes on our back and food on the table. She made sure we had a good education. Yes. God damn it. Yes. Shout out to you and your situation. Fuck the 10,000, 100,000 other situations that would prove that what we're saying is accurate. Apparently, none of the facts matter to most of these people. Sick. Let's move on.
Is gathered tonight in a quiet show of support.
Sometimes we have to move out of our comfort zone, you know, and that's why we're here.
Damon, don't get your ass blocked over here. You're not listening. Who said it's only black homes? Don't get your ass blocked over here. Because you are one of those pro-black people that says things like this. White people do it too. Asian people do it too. Mexicans do it too. Well, if they all... And y'all have heard this before. If all of your friends jumped off of a bridge or all of your friends jumped off of a cliff, would you go jump off of a cliff too? Most of us will say, well, I'm not that stupid. I'm not going to jump off of a cliff. So again, if all of those races do it too, then why would we participate in something that's so fucking stupid, Damon? I'm just saying, if they're doing stupid shit, then why are you saying it's okay to do stupid shit because other races do it? Is that how you raise your kids, Damon? Is that the kind of father you are, Damon? Me personally, as a father, as a mentor, as a leader, which is something you might not understand, but it's okay. I'm going to bring it in for you. I'm going to simplify it for you, right? As someone who believes in accountability, that is exactly why people like me get on the front lines, because we do not mind, especially us as responsible fathers that do believe in taking responsibility for the children that we bring into this world. We don't mind being held accountable. If something is wrong, it is wrong, period. You tell me it's wrong, I'm going to go with it and says, yes, I acknowledge it's wrong. If I don't agree with that, then what do? I would change my actions in order to change the stereotype. But that's too much like right. It's too much like work. People don't want to work. People don't want to earn a good reputation. Let me say thank you to Ari Shai. Ari Shai, you know what Ari Shai said, Damon? Damon, you still in here, Damon? You still in here, Damon? I don't know if you're in here. You're not speaking loud enough, Damon. Say it with your chest, homeboy. Tell me what I said that was factually inaccurate. I'm going to read what Ari Shai, who is a woman, it appears to be. If I'm wrong, let me know, but it looks like a woman. Let me make sure. Let me go to the channel. Let me do a channel check, and let me see if this is a woman. And she's a beautiful woman, by the way. At least a beautiful face. I'll give her credit. Ari Shai has a pretty face and a pretty profile picture. And guess what Ari Shai told me that she didn't tell you, Damon? She said, speak the truth. And she donated $15 and she put it on her chest. She said, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And Ari Shai, from my heart to yours, I want to thank you for that. I really do. Because people that are here and the women that are here and the mothers that are here, the real women that are here, understand what my true message is. My message is a love for children, a love for family, a respect for women, and accountability for men. Accountability for all sides, and for us to do better by our children. That is my ultimate message. People like Ari and my channel members and the rest of us that are here, my moderators and people that listen on a regular basis, even people that click the thumbs up and share the stream, even if they don't find it financially feasible to donate to my stream. Most people here understand my message, Damon. Most people do not look at children and say that they are important. They should be listened to. Their opinions matter. Me personally, I believe that children's opinions matter. I'm not one of those people that say children should be seen and not heard. No, I believe children should be seen. I believe that children should be heard. I believe that children should be cared for. Children should be loved. Their opinion should matter. And the children ought to be able to ask you why. You give them those answers. That way they don't have to be clueless. They don't have to feel dumb. You empower your children. That is what I live by. I'm watching my daughter live out that example. And shout out to Crystal Chan, by the way. I am so proud of my daughter. Because you know why? Her father has taught her to be a leader. And I watch her live it. In school and at home. You can do it with boys, you can do it with girls, but you have to start with accountability. That's it. Be fair and be accountable. Don't give me motherfucking excuses talking about, well, other races do it. Damn. Well, last time I checked, isn't that part of the, like, why they said that the Holocaust was so fucking bad and why they don't want to repeat the Holocaust? Well, the Nazis did it too. Is that what we're going to start doing? What about slavery? What if they wanted to bring back slavery? Well, the whites did it too. The Arabs did it too. The kings and queens who sold us into slavery, pro-blacks, did it too. Let me have a drink on that note. Monkey see, monkey do. Thank you, Chandra. That's my point. Of course, I'm being a little satirical, but I do mean what I'm saying. I hope that you kind of get my point, me being a little comical about it, but I do hope that you understand my point. Seriously. Wrong is wrong. Murder is murder. Period. It should stop. I don't care if other people are doing it. That's what makes pro-blacks and these conscious community people so damn dumb. Make your message to be genuine, but I think that they know if they made their message genuine, would nobody listen to them anymore. I think that's what they're scared of. They're scared of the truth, and I see that's why they attack people like Tommy and the rest of us. I don't get attacked like Tommy, don't get me wrong. But I see why they do it, because they know that their message really don't hold as much water. It really don't. What am I sipping on? Some Arbor Mist. I had to have me a drink because seriously, this story bugs the hell out of me. It makes it a little bit easier to get through this story. And after a hard weekend of DJing, I had to have me a drink coming home to this story. This is absolutely ridiculous. Let me stop talking though. Let me go ahead and play the videos for you guys. We got a couple more. If you guys are watching, hit that thumbs up.
Cell phone video captured the sound of the shots last night. Only one person was firing, and police say it was the 15-year-old alleged gang member they now have in custody, aiming at a rival in a long-running battle along 26th Street. That man was shot in the hand as he tried to flee. The 7-year-old victim, one of scores of kids out last night in Little Village, trick-or-treating with their parents.
Damon, if you're going to be here, do not take what I say personally, brother, okay? It don't matter whether you're black or whether you're white. I'm going to call you a brother. As long as you're in my chat, I consider men to be my brothers, okay? We're brothers in this fight because men in this country are under attack, okay? And what we have to do is we have to separate ourselves from the bullshit, okay? So if you're going to be in my chat, just understand that what we want to try to preach here is love for the children. That's what I specifically do here, okay? And we always have to advocate for children. If people can't advocate for children, then we have to advocate right past them, straight up and down. So don't take what I say like personally, like I don't want you like upset or anything, but I do want you to think about what I say. If you disagree with what I say, then I want you to look it up and present a fact and say like, hey, this is why what you're saying, Jay, is factually inaccurate. Fatherless homes have high crime rates. They have high failure rates. Those children do not see value in themselves. I can speak for the black community, and I can tell you, those niggas don't give a damn about themselves, and they prove it in their actions. That's what I do know. Not only did I live it, but I've seen it. I've lived through it. I've lived through it and I've seen it. So I do know what I'm talking about, but statistics are there for a reason. We just need to use that information and try to build ourselves into something more positive in this country. We have to do better. Okay, let's move on.
The child is not moved, don't say nothing, don't cry, nothing. The child is in shock.
She was hit in the neck and chest, rushed to Stroger. Her condition very grave then, but improving now. Police canvassed the area for video, appealing to the public for tips, and the neighborhood delivered.
We've had really a great deal of tips come in for this particular incident, and that tells me
that you're bad. Let me see. Don't talk bad about my city. I'm from Chicago. Well, I'm from Oklahoma. Does that mean I can't talk shit about the shitty ass school systems in Oklahoma? I've seen you here before, Brandon, but tell me what you think about that. Y'all have heard me do a show telling y'all that Oklahoma ranks 48 out of 50 states for education. I'm from Oklahoma, and their education sucks ass. This is the thing that we do very well in Oklahoma. We know that Oklahoma sucks for a lot of different reasons, and we don't mind calling it out because they're trying to get better. They're trying to build it up and do better. What do they say? If you know better, you do. I know, Brandon. I know. I got you, bro. But you know what they say? If you know better, you do better, right? Ain't that what they say? So that means if people didn't know that Oklahoma was ranked 48 out of 50, if they do know, then that gives them the opportunity to try to change that stereotype. Change that thought process, change those statistics. But you were just giving me something to think about, though. That's all. I'm not getting on to you.
That people are tired of this senseless violence.
In fact, police tell us tonight they've been getting an unprecedented level of help from the Little Village community, in part, they believe, because of the horrible nature of this crime. Again, the 7-year-old victim still recovering at Stroger Hospital tonight, but doing better. The 15-year-old suspect facing a first-degree attempted murder charge right now. He's in Central Bond Court at 26th in California tomorrow. Live tonight.
I hope one of those independent reporters puts out his name and his face and his information. So if they can put out this little 7-year-old girl's information, I want them to put this 15-year-old thug's information and his face out there. If y'all have it, give it to me. I will gladly put it out there if y'all know who he is. Somebody out there knows. George Lopez says, thank you for thinking of Latinos with this video, Jay. Children first, of all colors and all races. And I appreciate you noticing that, because too many times a lot of people say that I don't look at other races. Oh, I do. I definitely do. Just because I pick up some stories more than others does not mean that I don't care about all children. I love all children. Absolutely. There are some stories that I will pick and choose depending on the nature of them. And if I feel like I could do that story some justice, sometimes I'll pick it up. But I do know that it's easier for me to speak from the black perspective and try to give you guys some insight as to some of the thinking and the criminal mentality, or even some of the family dynamics that make these situations so dire. you know? Let's move on to our next video, guys. We got a couple more videos. If you guys are still in there with me on this Sunday, let's keep this thing rocking, okay? Let's go.
I ask you for your prayers for this most vulnerable of victims. I also ask for your eyes and ears. Together, we can bring these individuals to justice. Thank you to the tipsters that have already come forward.
I agree, Ellen Madeline. I appreciate that. Like I say, man, you know, the more we continue to do this, like I say, I just want more people to come in and to at least be able to listen to our message and try to digest it, right? That's mainly what we want. We just want people to listen and digest it, and then we can kind of go from there and start having more conversations.
I know the people of Chicago will come together in a moment like this. Incidents like this don't just touch those living in a specific neighborhood on a certain side of town. This is a crime that touches all of us. There's no place for this savagery in our city. Obviously, the little girl wasn't the target. We think two gangs were having a dispute, and one of them shot at the other. Not crossfire, but she just was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And he said exactly what I said, wrong place, wrong time. Even though I hate that statement, but he said it, wrong place, wrong time. And there is no such thing as a wrong place or wrong time. I've heard people say that people get shot in their house, innocent kids, when people do drive-bys is wrong place, wrong time. And that's bullcrap. People are just doing wrong. That's straight up. That's it.
And the city is outraged after a 7-year-old girl shot while trick-or-treating in Little Village.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Baker.
I'm Erin Kennedy. The little girl was dressed in a bumblebee costume when a stray bullet hit her in the neck.
CBS 2's Eric Cox joins us live in Little Village to tell us about the ongoing investigation. Eric.
Detectives have been working overnight right here in Little Village.
Whoa, hold on. Let me take a pause, guys. If y'all are watching, I want y'all to hear this. This is one of my channel members. And Rachel, I hope you don't mind if I reiterate what you wrote in the chat. Rachel said, I left Cleveland 10 years ago when I got a letter about how to tell if my child was high on crack in the 3rd grade. What? I'm going to read that again. I've never, and I believe you, Rachel. I believe you. I've seen schools send home some wild letters. There's no reason for me to doubt you. If y'all have heard of some crazy stories like that, post it in the chat. I've never heard of anything like that. Again, Rachel said she left Cleveland 10 years ago when she got a letter about how to tell if your 3rd grade child is high on crack. What the hell? God, dog, have we fallen that far? I think we have. Jesus Christ.
Village to tell us about the ongoing investigation. Eric.
Ooh-wee.
Detectives have been working overnight right here in Little Village, searching for surveillance and more information. No arrests have been made just yet, but they have identified a person of interest.
Now, this information is wrong. They've already arrested one of the dudes. They think that 2 others are involved.
And believe more people are still involved in this tragic shooting. A cell phone was recording around 5:30 Halloween evening near 26th and Lawndale when 7 gunshots rang out. The video shows several people running moments after that shooting. Officers say the girl was walking on the sidewalk trick-or-treating with her family when she was shot in the neck, becoming an unfortunate and unintended victim of what detectives are calling a gang-related gun battle. Police tell me a group of men were chasing after a 31-year-old man when one of them opened fire. And we've learned a woman who was working at a nearby cell phone store called out and helped the young 7-year-old and her father. Today, we returned to that store and talked to the Good Samaritan's co-worker and sister.
Let me say thank you real quick to Miss Lady T. Sinades. If you're in the chat, I wanted to say thank you to you. I just got your PayPal donation in. And again, if you guys are listening, if you want to donate to the channel, you know the links are just below the video in the description box. If you want to click one of those, whether it be PayPal or Cash App, But thank you to Dominic, and thank you to Miss Lady T-Sinead 777. Also, thank you to the people that have already donated in the super chat link as well.
She heard the gunshots. She went outside to see what had happened, and she saw the father carrying the little girl. She told him to come inside. She felt the need to help her. She saw her laying down on the floor, bleeding, and it was really hard for her.
The 31-year-old man who police believe was the intended target of this shooting was also hit in his left hand. He's doing okay this morning, but as for that 7-year-old girl, she's currently at Stroger Hospital in critical condition. I'm live in...
Yes, Chandra, Cash App. I have Cash App and PayPal, and those links are in the description box. If y'all heard that correctly, he said that the man that was shot was the intended target. That means that this was the little girl, let me get her name again, Giselle Zamago's father. Giselle Zamago's father, which is the 7-year-old girl that was shot. They were aiming for her father. Now, why didn't they just say that? They could have literally have just said it just like that. I hope y'all noticed that as long as we've been telling this story, and we're getting ready to get out of here in just a second, they didn't specifically say it that way. They were shooting at Giselle Zamago's father, who was the 7-year-old girl that was shot. They were shooting at her daddy that was out walking her at Halloween. I assume that he probably is gang involved, and he probably knew who shot at him. He should have an idea. And do I think he should tell? Yep, sure should. They hit your daughter. I hope you got enough nuts to step up and say something, and don't be a little punk. Let's move on. We got 2 more videos, and then we're going to wrap up.
In Chicago tonight, a 7-year-old girl is fighting for her life after being shot. As Adriana Diaz reports, it happened during one of the most innocent of activities, trick-or-treating.
It was around 5:30 on Halloween in Chicago's largely Mexican neighborhood of Little Village when 7 bullets aimed at a gang member rang out. A 7-year-old girl out trick-or-treating dressed as a bug was...
Okay, equals is me. Here's why I say that. The reason why I believe that they were shooting at Giselle Zamago's father is because, number one, they say that the little 7-year-old girl was walking with her father on Halloween out getting candy. They say that they shot in her direction. So if they shot at the father and he was hit and hit the little girl, which they are both next to each other, then who else were they aiming at if the only 2 people that got hit were the father and the little girl? To me, if the police are coming out and saying the intended target, they shot at the intended target, then the intended target was somebody who they referred to in the last half of the story, where it says, police believe that the gunman is a member of the Gangster 2-6 gang and was targeting a Latin king when he shot the girl 2 times as she walked down the street with her father Thursday evening on the 3700 block of West 26th Street, close to the dividing border of the rival street gangs. Make sure you let me know if you heard that. If I have to, let me know if I need to read it again, because I know that sometimes I don't process information well, but I think I processed this one pretty good. But we got about 212 people here. If somebody heard that different than what I just read, let me know. If y'all need me to, I can give y'all my source, even though I got the source from a couple different places. Y'all look this up if you can. You can check ABC 7 Chicago or NBC Chicago, USA Today. Let's see, what else? The Chicago Tribune. You can check CNN. You can check CBS News, the NY Times, USA Today. And I used a couple of other sources: Fox News, Fox 8, ABC 13, ABC 7, ABC 30, Time.com, and WashingtonPost.com. Those are my sources. You said you're confused because they said the father was not hit. Let me read it again. Let me read it again. So hear me out, because those are all the sources. So sometimes I don't always tell y'all where I get my sources, but here it is. I gave y'all all my sources. Now hear what I wrote again. Here we go. Let me see if I can find it. The girl, dressed in a bumblebee costume, was walking with her father when shot by an apparent stray bullet in the Little Village neighborhood. Scroll down in the next part of the story, and they say police believe the gunman is a member of the Gangster 2-6 gang and was targeting a Latin king when he shot the girl 2 times as she walked down the street with her father Thursday evening. You're saying the father was not shot, the target was. But here's the caveat. Why didn't they say who was actually shot if it was more than just the father and the little girl? Because the last time y'all gotta let me know. The only 2 people that they're saying got hit, based on what I've read, is the father and the little girl. But then again, you're talking about niggas shooting and not hitting their targets. So maybe they were aiming at a Latin king and completely missed the Latin king and hit a father and his daughter. Is that possible? Yes. Is it possible? Yes, that is possible. No, they say the father was shot. The father was shot in the hand. Let me see. Let me scroll back up. Hold on. Let me try to get it. A 31-year-old man was shot in the left hand during the incident. Police believe the man was the intended target of the shooting, which he also said was gang related. So go back down. I could be missing it. So forgive me if I'm wrong about that. If Eagles is me, if you're listening, if I'm wrong about that, I could be wrong. But they should have specified if it was 3 people or more people shot. Because from what it sounded like, they were saying that the little girl was hit, and it sounded like the father was hit. So I could be missing that. A man, not the father. I'll take that. I'll take that. So maybe I'm wrong about that. But like I said, you know, I'm hoping that they put out more information and just be a little bit more specific about it. Because there's no way I should have had to gone through like 30 different links to try to put together this one story. So like I said, maybe some of the details are wrong. So let me apologize for that for now. But I don't know.
Struck in the lower neck and barely clinging to life.
This street was full of kids trick-or-treating because it's one of the safest streets in the area. Now, the girl was with her family down this block. When she was shot, she was rushed into the cell phone store.
Yes, they did say that. Dr. Love is right. They said there were a group of men chasing one man. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. So I'll take that. So let me retract some of what I said. Maybe it wasn't the father that was the target, and maybe the father wasn't hit. So let me retract that. Maybe I was wrong about some of that, but it's still crazy as shit nonetheless.
Where friends and family tried to keep her alive.
Ivana Aguirre, who works next door, ran into the cell phone store.
How did the girl look when you saw her? ¿Cómo pareció la niña cuando usted la vio?
Su semblante era muy blanco ya, e incluso sus labios.
She had pale lips and skin.
Sí.
Did you think she was still alive?
Así es, no sabía.
Nationwide, it's been a violent 3 months for children under the age of 10. Since August 1st, at least 47 have been killed by guns. Today, Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson, who wanted to highlight the city's latest crime data showing murders down more than 20% over last October, was visibly angry.
Those involved don't deserve to be in our city. So I'm disgusted, but committed to doing everything we can to find the cowards that would engage in a gun battle in the early evening hours while children were trick-or-treating.
At last report, the girl was in serious condition at the hospital. Police do have someone of interest in custody, but Nora, they say that person is a juvenile too.
Adriana, thank you.
All right, this is going to be our last video, and I thank you guys so much for coming through tonight. Or was this it? Let me make sure.
Just in the past hour, we received.
So they.
Yeah, let me make this one the last video. Let me thank. I don't know if I can pronounce it correctly. It's either Chandra or Chandra. But if you're listening, she just donated by way of Cash App. So if you're listening right now, I want to say thank you from my heart to yours. I appreciate your donation. But thank you very much. So if I pronounced your name right, let me know if I mispronounced it, or you can just shout yourself out in the chat. But thank you very much for your donation. We have one more that just came in by way of PayPal. Let me thank him. It says, even though I don't like what you said to me, keep doing what you're doing, because what's going on out here is bigger than both of us. Now, I 100% agree with you. So to my guy, Damon, I'm pretty sure that was Damon. So if you're listening, man, I appreciate that. Let me see. Chandra, baby. Okay, got you. Okay. So Chandra, thank you for your donation. And Damon, if you're listening, y'all know I gave Damon a little bit of a hard time. But Damon sent a donation in by way of PayPal, man, and I appreciate that. So thank you so much, brother, and I appreciate you, you know, like I said, for not jumping off the edge there, and I appreciate you taking a moment to try to understand kind of what we're hoping to accomplish. So yeah, man, thank you very much. I appreciate that, bro.
Breaking developments in the shooting of a 7-year-old girl trick-or-treating. Right now, police are questioning a young person in connection to the crime.
Yeah, CBS 2's Vince Irisoli is live in Little Village. Vince, the girl's condition improved late this afternoon.
Brad and Eric had improved just a little bit. Earlier this day, Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson said that she was clinging to life, but just in the past hour, we received word from Stroger Hospital that this 7-year-old who was shot in the neck was in serious condition, so that's just a bit of an improvement. Now, this is the main thoroughfare in Little Village. It's 26th Street. At 5:30 yesterday, it was teeming with families, small children in costumes, adults in costumes, going door to door, trick-or-treating, celebrating the holiday. But you got to take a look at this alleyway over here. That is where witnesses, just by that mural, say that shots began to ring out, turning those Halloween celebrations tragic.
We're also here to show our outrage.
They gathered with signs to end violence outside the cell phone store where a family and their wounded 7-year-old daughter ran for cover after a gang-related Halloween shooting. You can hear the shots ringing out 7 times in this mobile phone footage and see masked figures running back and forth. In the confusion, the girl, dressed as a ladybug, was hit in the chest and neck. Moments earlier, she was trick-or-treating with her father and 3 brothers among the stores along 26th Street in Little Village.
She heard the gunshots. She went outside to see what had happened, and she saw the father carrying the little girl. She told him to come inside, so they could call for help.
This woman, who wants to remain anonymous, says her sister works at the Metro PCS store and ushered the frantic family inside. The sister helped by applying pressure to the girl's wounds.
She did an amazing thing.
I'm disgusted, but committed to doing everything we can.
Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says community response has been overwhelming with a significant number of leads. It's led to the questioning of a teen in custody. Authorities say a figure in a Jason mask opened fire, hitting the intended target in the hand, a 32-year-old man who tried to flee the scene and is not cooperating. This was the scene at the t-shirt shop just next door, crowded with costumed children only moments before the shooting.
And I said to the child, come in, because I think it's a firework.
The community that has stepped forward to help police in their...
No, that fool did not say, I thought it was a firework. What? In Chicago, you thought it was a firework? On Halloween, you thought it was a firework? Let's listen again.
Only moments before the shooting.
And I said to the child, come in, come in, come in, because I think it's a firework.
Really, Jose? Really, Jose? You thought it was a firework, Jose? In Chicago? Nah, bro. No firework in Chicago. No firework in Chicago.
Because I think it's a firework.
The community that has stepped forward to help police in their investigation is also keeping the injured girl front and center.
And I wanted not only Chicago, but the world to know that this community, Little Village, does care.
She was just a little girl, 7 years old, dressed like a ladybug, trick-or-treating. And tonight, she's fighting for her life, according to the doctors and authorities surrounding her. Earlier today, Mayor Lori Lightfoot joined Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson. They visited the girl's family at Stroger Hospital, and we understand from Stroger through a statement that the family is deeply touched by the outpouring of support that they've received, not just here in Chicago, but from throughout the entire nation. Reporting live from Little Village, I'm Vince Girasoli, CBS 2 News.
That fool Jose know there were no goddamn fireworks, fucking idiot. Come on now. That's just stupid, Jose. That's just stupid. Let me thank, also, if Dr. Love is in the chat, bro, let me read your message. She said, here's another article about it. And he left the link there, and I can pull that up on the computer. And he said, why is there gang violence on a children's holiday? Especially when we know children are out walking. Could this not wait until afterwards to not involve children? Shout out to Dr. Love in the chat, man. I feel you on that 100%. And thank you very much, not only for your message, but thank you also for your donation by way of PayPal. And I definitely appreciate that. And anybody who decides to leave a message that way, I can get to them a lot quicker, and I can also give them the focus that they absolutely deserve. Here's how I want to close this thing out, because there was a couple things I didn't say at the beginning. These type of kids, like those 15-year-olds, if you let him out and he has a clean slate when he crosses that threshold of being grown, then he's already learning that accountability means nothing, and he's going to learn how to skirt this system at a very early age by using his urine. Guys, if y'all didn't hear that part of the story, the 15-year-old that was busting them shots like that ditched the gun. He took his tool out, his mail tool, and he pissed on his hands, wiped his hands all in it, all in his own urine. You know why he did that? To clear himself of the evidence that that gun that he used was the gun that he used to fire at that 31-year-old Latin King gang member. Right? Also, I want to point out, because somebody caught this in the chat earlier, even though this baby is a Latin descent baby or Mexican baby, whatever you want to call her, I'm not sure what her nationality is, but I don't think what her race is matters. You know why I say that? Because what if this was your baby? Why are we focusing on this? Because what if it was your kid? Would you not want us to take your kid being in a situation like this, having her life threatened over some stupid shit? You would want us to take it seriously also. Plus, I want to point this out to you guys. Other communities, white people, Mexican people, Asian people, Middle Eastern people, all kinds of other communities of people, when we put up our GoFundMes and hope that these benevolent white people come and donate to us, they reach out to us and help when tragedy strikes. Most of those GoFundMes that we put up, most of that money is not coming from our people. Y'all know that to be a fact. It's usually somebody that feels sorry for us because we're black and because we're unfortunate, and because y'all have watched enough slave movies. Like they got what, the Harriet Tubman fucking movie out now? I mean, I'm like, damn, like how many more slave movies are y'all motherfuckers gonna put out? Sorry. But I'm not feeling all these goddamn slave movies and shit. Like reminding us of slavery and the mentality of white people and they're bad and blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. We are so far past that. And we have a whole new set of issues that we need to tackle today. We don't need to tackle what happened fucking 400 years ago. We, as Americans, can't even tackle what happened 20 years ago. I want y'all to think about that. We're about to be 20 years removed from the year 2000, the new millennium. And we have more problems now than we've ever had. Our country is more divided now than it ever was. Straight up. We want to ask for that kind of help when tragedy strikes us. So why, in a situation like this, when there was an innocent little girl who cannot speak for herself, nor can she defend herself from this type of tyranny, why can't we at least just speak out against the bad behavior? Period. It affects us all. Maybe not this little girl this time. It's this girl this time. But maybe the next time, it could be your relative's kid. Maybe next time, it could be your friend's kid. Maybe next time, it could be your baby. Your flesh and blood with your DNA in it. In my opinion, I need the information released of this 15-year-old who has already proven that he is going to be a career criminal. Based on how he's acting, he already knew how to get rid of the evidence. To me, that dictates a pattern of behavior that y'all don't need in Chicago. Somebody needs to step up and cast him out. Y'all know who he is. And y'all, and everybody, the world needs to know who he is. Everybody needs to know who these type of people are. To avoid them, to watch out for them, and to know that they might make you their next target. Why give him 2 years to let this little bastard to grow up and continue keep killing people? I don't think he needs to be let out. I agree with what the neighbors said. He does not need to be let out. No, they don't need to strengthen the already strong-ass goddamn gun laws for thugs that already don't care about the fucking laws anyway. They need to strengthen the home foundations. Biological mother, biological father work together as a nuclear family. Not nuclear. Nuclear family. Nuclear family. If they're going to give out the name of that little girl, then I think that they need to give out the name of this guy.